There was a bill that was put forward. Republican Senator Rick Scott asked for a unanimous consent Thursday afternoon to pass a no budget, no pay act on the Senate floor. So what that would have done was frozen paychecks for members of Congress. Now, I don't know how you in good conscience do this. I just don't get it. And a Democrat, Ed Markey, blocked the legislation that would withhold lawmakers' paychecks until the government shutdown ends. So Scott said if he's willing to defer his paycheck, why wouldn't he allow my bills to pass that all of us should defer our paychecks until the government gets open again? So it's funny to me. This is what I find fascinating. There's also a story here about the Arizona senators, Mark Kelly, the senior senator from Arizona, and Ruben Gallego, the junior senator from Arizona. Both gave back-to-back floor speeches trying to encourage the Senate to put pressure on the House to seat Adelita Grajova. It didn't work. So on one hand, we're not going to do this passing a bill to stop our paychecks, but do your job and seat a congresswoman. It's just part of the hypocrisy. Now, as far as the filibuster goes, I want you to hear this. I think this is really important to hear. This goes back to 2021. Hakeem Jeffries is talking about the filibuster, and he's being interviewed by the Reverend Al Sharpton. This is incredible.
Congressman, you tweeted yesterday that the filibuster is a racially tinged artifact of the Jim Crow era. We cannot let it stand in the way of progress.
High priority issues for the American people that are being held up in the Senate right now because of the presence of the filibuster. And so a minority of senators are allowed to block progress for the majority of the American people. And that's something that has to change. Filibuster was first deployed by Senator Calhoun in the run-up to the Civil War to try to protect white supremacy as well as the institution of slavery. And then in terms of its modern form, it was really deployed in the early part of the 20th century to stop civil rights legislation, including anti-lynching legislation that passed the House of Representatives in the early part of the 20th century, but could never break through a Senate filibuster.
So there you have it. It's racist. The filibuster is racist. Straight from the mouth of Hakeem Jeffries. I will tell you the filibuster is a tool that is necessary. I believe that it is still the saucer that cools the drink. Needing 60 votes in some cases to get cloture, I think, is something that stops legislation from going from one extreme to the other. And so I support the filibuster. But it is funny to every single day to hear more and more people talking about how bad this is and it needs to end when the opposite party is in power. This is why I hope the Republicans don't end the filibuster, because it's the epitome of hypocrisy. When the Democrats just last year and the year before wanted to end the filibuster to get their way, what this proves is that the Senate isn't using it appropriately, that they aren't working together. It's funny when and this goes back years and years and years, when Harry Reid was in the United States Senate and running the United States Senate, and then the Republicans took over the majority in the Senate, all of a sudden Harry Reid came out and said, this was a mandate by the American people, a referendum that we should all work together. And I thought, but you didn't, the mandate when you were the majority, and both parties do this. If there's going to be a genuine coming together, there has to be consistency, right? I mean, I'm trying to be as consistent as I can. It would be very good for my political party, and ultimately, I think for our country, if they ended that filibuster right now, and they'd be able to get a lot of really good things done, because I agree with, in principle, the platform of the party in charge. So for me, selfishly, if they ended the filibuster, especially on some of these bills that were about finance and funding, then I think that we would see good things happen. The problem is my party's not always going to be in power. And when the other party takes power, you're going to see a massive swing in the other direction. I want you to imagine, a Chuck Schumer in charge of the Senate and what gets to the floor for a vote and what assigned to committees, and a Hakeem Jeffries in the House, and pick a Democrat that could run for president and possibly win. Imagine if you're a Republican, because I know how the Democrats are feeling right now. They don't like to see Mike Johnson in the United States Senate. They don't like to see Thune. They don't like to see any of these people on the Republican side. They don't want to see Ted Cruz. They don't want to see any of the people in the United States Senate on the Republican side that would need just a simple majority. And then they know that what Donald Trump wants them to get done, they'll do. So America is stuck. We haven't even talked about how horrible things are for people. That as of today, we are going to see a reduction in flights at Sky Harbor Airport. The expectation that we are going to see massive slowdowns at Sky Harbor Airport and long lines are happening across the country. What this does to the industry. Air traffic controllers still not getting paid. TSA workers not getting paid. 3-hour lines to clear security in Houston.
I don't know. If I were you, I'd be canceling my Thanksgiving flight.
I'm not
No,
flying,
I'm just saying
yeah.
anybody in general.
Well, you know that some of the airlines are encouraging people to book backup tickets?
Wow. If only we had all that money to book backup tickets.
Yeah.
Like, okay.
And I don't know if
Would be
I
nice.
think you can get the insurance to get a refund. So if you show up at the airport for your flight and it happens, you can cancel the other flight and get your money back. But who's got that money to shell out?
That's what I'm saying. Like, who has extra money just to have a
And
backup booking?
what do you do? Because you usually book a round trip ticket.
Correct.
So if you cancel the round trip ticket for the second, what happens on your return trip if you get hosed on the first flight?
Can you imagine? It's just a mess.
It's.
I can't even imagine traveling.
So they
right
blocked
now.
this bill. This is hilarious to me. Rick Scott, the senator from Florida, proposed a bill, and it was called the No Pay Act, the No Budget, No Pay Act.
And this would stop paying Congress while government is shut down until
and somebody
something
blocked
happens.
it. Somebody blocked it.
Of course.
But I don't know how you do that. Is it that America isn't paying attention? I don't know. Are the American people not paying attention? Because I would think both parties would see in this case that, okay, if troops aren't getting paid, if TSA is not getting paid, if air traffic controllers aren't getting paid, if SNAP benefits aren't being
It's
paid.
literally putting our country at a stop.
Yeah, in so many important areas, and the only people that can open the government still get a check, there's no motivation.
There's no
to open the
way that they're
government.
going to open it. What for? They're still getting paid. They're still doing their job.
And they're standing on a soapbox preaching they're doing this on the side of angels, and we're doing this because it's an important precedent and we have to get this done. And they're doing it while if they were doing that and sacrificing their paycheck, at least it wouldn't be the big hypocrisy that it is.
Right. It would show some kind of, I don't know, camaraderie.
Yeah. Yeah.
Stand together with
Right.
the American people, Congress. Come on.
There was a theologian in the World War II era named Dietrich Bonhoeffer. And Bonhoeffer came from a wealthy family in Germany, came to the States, studied in the States. And when World War II broke out, he returned to Germany because he said, there's no way that I can minister to my people if I don't suffer with my people.
Right, exactly.
So he went back, and he was a pacifist, and he ended up being on a plot to get to. It's a great story if you don't know Bonhoeffer's story, but Bonhoeffer got it. He said, I can't go and preach to them if I don't suffer with them.
Right. You don't know.
This is what's frustrating about what we're seeing.
Thanks for watching the Mike Broomhead Show. Tap to watch and listen to the new season of Amazing Arizonans, a KTAR News podcast. You can also click the button in the middle to subscribe.